sky. Feel the ground shaking underneath, trying to take me alive. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain, game of survival. Anytime or place, watch 'em run away. I got none. I'll be standing on my own, never gonna take my throne. I got no rival. Watch 'em run away. I got no, I got no rival.
Hello and welcome back. Another video. I know, 2 in 1 now, and it's not regarding the World Cup. Them flags behind me, they get to see the real image. You get to see the peace sign. They get told to do one. We're not doing any FA Cup stuff today. FA Cup, World Cup. We are not doing any of that World Cup shite today. We will be doing that tomorrow, however, bringing you alive from 6:45 for the Netherlands, Argentina. That said, though, welcome back to Turf Morehouse TV. The EFL is back. We can finally do these predictions. Hopefully, I have actually learnt something during the time off and I can get myself out of the mire. However, I always end up being last. So, you know, I do have Anthony in who's going to come join us, obviously top of the leaderboard. I'll say it before he comes in with that big grin on his face. You can see him on the camera just giving it the big one. But yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. It's been tough these last couple of days. I will not lie. So yeah, just got to keep smiling and hopefully bring you guys some good content. As always, I can cry once the camera's off, Corner. That said, thanks for the love and support from everybody. I'll get to the comments in just a moment. But if you are new around here, please do us a massive, massive favour. Drop a like on the video, smash that subscribe button. We really, really, really would help. And click that notification bell because it gets us notified, especially if you're watching us via YouTube. We are also live via Facebook and via Twitch, so you can show your support through those 3 socials. That said, we are on other socials. We are like social media whores. You can find us everywhere. All you're going to do is search Turf Morehouse or Turf Morehouse TV, and these are the platforms you'll find us on. For all of you that weren't listening earlier, off camera, I caught Anthony singing that much that he shattered a glass right in front of him. It could have been worse. It could have been the one behind his head. I think, is that a mirror behind your head?
A mirror? No, that's a picture. That's my picture of my missus with some flowers around her.
Right. I think just because of the angle from the thing, I thought it was a mirror, but
there.
Taking a dump behind a bush. She's taking a dump behind a bush. That's what she's doing.
In the bush. Yeah. Literally taking a curling one out, as he said.
Oh, I could always guarantee a good laugh when you're around. Thanks for coming back, Anthony. I appreciate it. Top of the leaderboard, and it's nice to have domestic football back, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think some people were excited for the World Cup. Some people weren't, but you know, it's been a joy to watch. I just think it's just this time of year, you know, with the World Cup, we're used to having hot weather, friends and family round, few beers, watching it on a screen, TV, whether it's outside or indoors or in a pub or whatever. But unfortunately, I think some people they haven't done that, have they? They've been at home watching it. So it is what it is. But listen, fingers crossed, England gets to the final and we win it. That's what I can say.
Let's hope so. Let us hope so. Couple of comments then. Chris is in. He says, "Big up, Dan. You've got this. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that."
Yeah, Chris.
Just in fact, I'll message you after, Chris, regarding what I was going to say. But I'll message you after regarding it. Anyway, the missus is in saying, remember to hit the thumbs up and sub if you're new. Please, please do. As I said, it really, really, really does help. On the road to 1K, help Daniel get there. Well deserved and works tirelessly. But then yet again, Anthony, pardon my manners. You also do some stuff on the old YouTube. Let people know where they can support you and your shows.
Yeah, I do a show on Friday nights. It's called Gunners for More Corners. He's on a Man United channel. He's Football United TV, but I do a Gunners for More Corners. A guy, Matt, brilliant guy, and I just get people on there, Arsenal fans, of course, and we just talk about Arsenal. And that's every Friday night at 9 o'clock. But obviously, we're not streaming at the minute because prior to the World Cup. So we will be back after the World Cup.
No, it is. It is. Please do go check that out as well. Obviously, when the Premier League stuff is back and the chatting all things Arsenal, head over there on Friday nights where you can join in Anthony's show. Also, the link to Anthony's Twitter, if you ever want him on your shows and things like that, is in the description of the video. So please do go and hit him up on that social media in there. Chris says, oh yes, the lower league teams are starting earlier while the World Cup is still ongoing. He has all that to say, but when Burnley and Leicester swap positions, will it be all guns blazing at that point? Luke says hi again, Dan, and the Bristol Rovers fan that we all love.
Oh yeah, no, not having that, not having it.
He's not having that, Luke. Not having that. Kate says you've got this in this together. We are indeed, and we will get through it. Now says big up the lads, big up to yourself. Now hope you are well. Chris says, I hope you're better with these predictions than the World Cup. One group, 0 points, a record. Yeah, but Chris, I'm in second place. Like I said, I'm nosebleed territory for the World Cup predictions. So, I'm happy with that. Chris says, Anthony gone OTT with the Christmas decks again, with the lights around the picture behind you.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah. I already told Danny who that was in the picture. Well,
Nate says hello again. Hello to your fine self, Nate. Hope you are well. Luke says, shame there's no Premier League. We must get extra treatment. You always do. You always do. As I say, people, please do show the support. Really do appreciate it. Right, let's get into it then. Let's get into the nitty gritty of it. We've spoken enough World Cup. Let's speak the Championship. It is back underway as of Saturday, and it starts with a 12:30 kickoff, I believe. 12 o'clock kickoff at Deadwood. I would say Ewood, but it's Deadwood because there's hardly any fans turn up. But Blackburn-Preston, another tasty Lancashire affair to get the EFL back up and running. How do you see this one going, Anthony?
Well, I got to be honest with you. I mean, with obviously Blackburn being third in obviously in the league, there's not many points between these two. But I think if you actually go over the last 5 games that they've played, I think they're pretty much evens. It evens out obviously the wins, the draws, and the losses. To be honest with you, I think this is going to be a good game. Obviously Blackburn being at home, that's the home advantage. But you know what? I feel sometimes, you said we were on about, the World Cup, but let's not forget some of these players in the championships, they've actually gone to the World Cup as well, haven't they? So it makes you think. With this one's going to be slightly. So I'm going to go for a draw on this one, Dan. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw this game.
No, that's fair enough. That is fair enough. As I say, guys, you get your predictions in. Let us know who you think is going to win these games as we go through them. Always good to see what you guys are going for as well. Chris says there, championship yawn. The true red. Kate's not taking a picture of predictions, but she did go for a Blackburn win. And yeah, exactly. Kick a man when he's down. Oh my God, divorce, technically. So you're going on the fence.
Yeah, I'm going to go on the fence with this one.
You're going on the fence with this one. I can't back him. I'm not Kate. I can't back him. I'm gonna give you a mate on the fence, mate. I'm gonna give you an old mate on the fence. I do think Blackburn probably, in hindsight, could go on and win it, but I just think it's a case of how will those teams come back from the having that break.
Having that break,
yeah.
Yeah.
I will go on the fence with you. I will join you for that one. Chris says Blackburn 7, Preston 0. Kate says save us both money on the divorce then since we aren't married. Luke's gone for Blackburn 1, Preston 0. And Chris said that's why I said technically. But yeah, like I say, guys, get your comments in. Let us know who you're going for, who you're backing. Kate's gone for the Bastards, and me and Anthony have sat on the fence for that early kickoff. Like Gandhi said, never back the early kickoff. On then to a 12:30 kickoff, and it's your boys away at Old Rotherham. A tough fixture, and I think the last time we spoke, you were saying how things are looking a little bit bleak for Nigel Pearson.
Yeah, I mean, things are looking slightly bleak. I mean, to be honest with you, I think we haven't won in our last, I think it's 6, maybe 7 games now. It's just trying to think back, like, sort of thing. I know with the last 5 games, we've most probably have drawn. I think we've drawn 3 and lost 2 in our last 5, which is disappointing. To be honest with you, we're just hoping that soon it's going to be a few weeks going to be in January. He's going to have the transfer window open, so maybe he can do some work there. I mean, we haven't really signed a hell of a lot of players this season. Most of them is like he's been either free or the likes of 1.5, maybe 2 million max. Which is a bit poor for Bristol City, especially for this season. So yes, it does make you think. Rotherham, obviously, they're not doing that great, to be honest with you. But they are above us, but only by a couple of points. But I mean, it's so close from where Bristol City are to where, if you look up to roughly round towards the playoffs sort of thing, But I think, to be honest with you, I'm gonna go with my heart on this one, and I'm gonna back my own team on this one. I'm gonna go 2-1 Bristol City.
2-1 Bristol City. I can understand why you'd back your own. Nothing wrong with that. Chris, however, has gone for Rotherham 7, Bristol City 0. And then says big up to Nudge. Kate's gone for Rotherham. So there's a different opinion between the two of you. Brush is in. Big up to yourself, Brush. Hope you are well. Luke says, technically, Chris, Wales were put in the form table in 18th place in the Premier League. Sake, what a fix. Chris says, I'm a cider drinker. I drinks it all of the day. I am a cider drinker.
Do you know something, Dan? Even though I support Bristol City and obviously living in Bristol, I hate cider. I don't drink it. Yeah, seriously, I don't drink cider. My favorite. If I go to a pub, I'll either have a San Miguel, an Amstel, or something else. Something like a lager sort of thing. So I'm not. I don't drink cider at all.
No, I think, I used to be a person that if it had a volume, I'd neck it, but now I've changed it. I've
That's
changed up a
right,
little bit.
Kate. I know why you picked Rotherham, Kate. I can understand why. It went like what Chris said. It was 7-0. By me. Has he gone today? He went to London.
No, tomorrow I
No.
think.
Oh, it's tomorrow, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
tomorrow I think.
Well,
Um,
if he has a nice time, and you know, obviously he's spending time with his daughter, isn't he? And her bloke.
yeah, yeah. I think he's going to see Abba Voyage,
Yeah.
and then he's going to Winter Wonderland as well. So
Ah, right. Yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah. No, that's all
should
right.
be
Have a
good.
nice time. Have a nice time, Chris, and with your son-in-law at the Gunners.
He says a lager sort of thing, like lager. True Red says Rotherham 1, Bristol City 3. Chris says it there. Abba Voyage, footy down the pub, Winter Wonderland. But yeah, we do
Yeah.
hope you have a good time, Chris. We really, really do. Um, I'm going to sit on the fence again. I'm going to sit on the fence again. I'm going to go for an even split between the three of us.
Yeah.
Bristol famous for Thatchers. No, that's Somerset, isn't it?
Yeah, that's more Somerset. That's a bit further down towards
Yeah,
Bristol. Yeah. It's
I
about
was
an
going to say.
hour's drive away from Bristol, Somerset. So
I mean, accent's very similar.
the accent is very similar. You either get with Bristolian voice, you get either a strong, broad Bristolian voice, or ones are not so bad. But
I heard a lot of people when I went to Minehead when I was younger. They all sounded a little bit Bristolian.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, they do around there. Like, but
to be
yeah, I
fair,
mean that one.
Chris, I must say this, Anthony. Sorry if just intruding, but he says keep those cheeks together, Dan, or that fence will end up between them. But when we actually sit on the fence, it's actually been called the old Forrian fence. That's what we call it when we sit on it. It's called the Forrian fence because you love backing a draw. So
Yeah,
we've named it after you in your honour. So even if you do manage to escape London with your integrity intact, then it will still be named after you no matter what. Kate says, bloody hell, Daniel, don't change the habit of a lifetime. What with? Sitting up fence? I get you. I'm not going anywhere near your cheeks. You've been
you know
too
what he's
close to
like,
me
don't you?
mum's.
Yeah,
Been away too close to me mum's.
uh,
Speaking of which, Reading Coventry, 2 o'clock kickoff at the Select Car Leasing Stadium. A lot of controversy around Coventry at the minute. Mark Ashley bars into the club with the group that is a part of a consortium, then issues them the ultimatum to get out if they don't accept, the offer already put towards them. So I can see them being, a little bit of that spilling onto the pitch. However, Reading, Paulins, they'd not done bad before the season got curtailed by the World Cup. How do you see
yeah.
this one going?
You know what? If you would, most probably would have asked me, I I don't know, most probably around about maybe 8 or 9 games into the season, without a shadow of doubt, I would have said Reading.
Yeah.
But now they've gone down to somewhere like mid-table. I mean, Coventry are just above them. I mean, you look at Coventry's last game; they've won their last 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Last 4 and 5. So, to be honest with you, I'm going to have to pick Coventry on this. I think there's a problem at Reading. They had their good spell. They put their foot off the gas now, so they're gradually creeping down this table now, aren't they? They will pick up and have a couple of wins, but I can't see nothing special from this Reading team. Coventry, you might as well say they started off really late. They were late. Um, they were late developers. Let's just say that this season, and They have gone up now. Coventry, I think they're bang on mid-table, 12 something like that, and I think Reading are like 13th, 14th, something like that. So you're gonna. It is close between them, but going on the last lot of games, you'd have to pick Coventry.
You would. You would. Even Luke's gone for 2-0 Coventry. Kate's gone
Yeah.
for a Coventry win. I don't want to admit it. I'm sat on the fence again. I've gone for 3 draws on the bounce. And there's a reason that there is a reason why for me. I just think that, as you said, the Coventry have had a lot of success in their last couple of games.
Yeah.
With everything off the pitch, whether that'll spill onto it. Reading have had that break now to hopefully regroup, get some of the lads back from injury, and potentially put themselves back in with a chance of being up there. So I feel that they cancel each other out. Don't worry, it will change at some point. I will predict a team to win and not sharing the spoils. But Chris says 7-0. Says Reading 7, Coventry 0. He's gone for another 7-0. So yeah, you and Kate both agreeing on Coventry in that one. Myself in the middle with the draw. Next up then, Blackpool against Birmingham. Blackpool at home at Bloomfield Road. Blackpool currently sitting in 23rd, Birmingham in 14th. However, Blackpool have lost their last 4 games on the bounce. Is it going to be a case of making that a full rounded 5?
It looks that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does. But it's like what I said. They've had time off now. If they've had any players injured, they most probably have come back. They know who they're playing. Obviously, Birmingham City. They most probably would have done their own work. Well, I suppose every team would have done their own work on who they're going to play now. So, I think to myself, you would look like if Birmingham most probably would go and win this, but I feel that Blackpool's got something to prove. I know they've lost their last 4 and 5 games, so they want to go out and give it a good go. Give them a good game. But saying that, you know what? I think I might go on the fence with this one, Dan. I know I've praised Blackpool up, but I'm gonna have to go on the fence. I'll go 1-1.
No, that's fair enough. That is fair enough. I'll put you down then on the fence for 1-1. You guys have been saying. Kate says she's gone with a Birmingham win, which she has. Chris says, "Feck me, Dan. So many draws. It's like a game of Pictionary." Spoiler alert: Dan will go with for a draw. And True Red says Blackpool 0, Birmingham 3. No, I'm gonna go for another split. I'm gonna go for Blackpool at home. This is a sort of game where it's almost like a nothing to play for sort of game for them, and they seem to always get the odd win against teams that
we don't expect it.
You just don't expect it.
Yeah.
So for me, that's a reason why I'm going to back the Pool in this one. So if Lee Charles, if you're watching, your boys better pull the finger out because I've backed them and I'm shit at predictions. So don't blame me if they do lose and I get it right. But I mean, if they lose, I'll get it wrong. What am I on about? Next up, then we're up to the Riverside Stadium. The North East entertains Borough and Luton. Borough currently sat in. They're up into 15th. Luton in 11th. Only 3 points separates them. Middlesbrough have won their last 2 games. In fact, they're unbeaten in the last 4. Luton drew their last game. You'd like to say that since Michael Carrick came in at Borough, they've performed pretty well.
Yeah, he hasn't done a bad job, Dan. He's done fantastic. It's like what you said. They've won their last 2. I think I think they've won 3 in their last 5, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he's sort of he got that sort of team he wants them to play sort of thing. I've noticed that when I watched them on the telly last, they seem to be passing the ball around more, exploiting more areas of the pitch, that sort of thing. So with that, I think I do you know what, I'm gonna have to go. I'll go Middlesbrough win here on this one.
Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. I think I'll have to join you. I think I'm going to join you, Borough at home. I think they'll get the win over Luton. Luton, for me, aren't really. Again, they're a side that sort of they just pick and choose when they're doing well. However, Kate has gone with a draw for this one. Her first draw. So we've all had a draw in there at some point. Chris says he's got to go, guys. Big up, and whoever Burnley are playing 7-0 to the other side. Don't miss me too much. Trust me, mate. We won't miss you too much. We won't miss you too much. But take it easy.
Have a nice
Take
one,
it
mate.
easy and have a good weekend. Have a cracking weekend with the family. Luke says Middlesbrough 1, Luton 1. But yeah, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go for a Borough win.
Yeah.
Next up, then, I know that they're not your favourite team. We all know they're not your favourite team, Millwall. However, they're at home at the Den, currently sat in 7th place, literally a point outside of the playoffs. Wigan, 3rd from bottom, won their last game. However, Millwall lost their last one. So I suppose you're only as good as your last result, but Millwall being so close to the playoffs and narrowly missing out last season as well on making the playoffs.
Thanks for that.
As painful as it says to you, you'd probably say that Millwall get the upper hand in it.
No, because I No, I look at it. Do you know what, Dan? I think if you look at the last 5 games between both teams, I think it's pretty much even. Whether it's a win, draw, or a loss here or there, I think it's pretty even. I mean, Wigan's in the bottom 3. I think you said Millwall is what? They're
Millwall are in 7th.
7th place. Yeah, I mean, obviously you will favour Millwall, but no, I'm going to go. I think these teams down at the bottom now, they've got something to prove now. They've got to give these teams up in the top half a real go. So I'm going to go for that one. I'm going to go for a Wigan win.
Ooh, big shout.
Yeah, I that's what I really think.
Bear with me. Right, so you've gone for Wigan. A good old Wigan kebab.
7-0. I'll do a Chris.
Why not? Why not? Kate's gone for the Millwall win. As I say, guys, gals and microwaves, whatever you want to be, feel free to put in your predictions. Feel free to get involved. And if you could do us a massive favour, please, please, please drop us a like on the video because it does help us get notified. And we'd love you forever if you could. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new and hit that notification bell so you're notified when we are next live. But yes, Luke says here, Millwall 2, Wigan 0, Colo Torre off to a bad start. Yeah, I did forget to mention that. Colo Torre obviously gone into Wigan as well. So they could have that new manager bounce, which could stand in your favour, Anthony, as well. And all Yorkshire affair next at Bramall Lane. This is going to be tough. Again, as I said, it's an all Yorkshire affair. Sheffield United currently sat in 2nd with 38 points. Could go top with a win if depending on what Burnley do in their fixture, because the goal difference, there's only one goal in it as well. So that said, though, you have Huddersfield, who are rock bottom of the league, but they have a draw and a win in their last two. Form sort of goes out of the window, doesn't it, in these sort of rivalry games? How do you see this
Yeah.
one going down at the lane?
Well, it does. I mean, I think Sheffield United, they won their last game. I think they won and lost. They're second. It's like I said, they're 3 points behind you. It's a Yorkshire derby. Do you know what? I think this game is. I don't think he's going to have many goals in it, Dan. To be honest
No?
with you, no, I don't. I think it's going to be. If I had to pick a winner, I will pick Sheffield United. If I had to see a scoreline, I think it'll either be something like 1-0 or 2-1. I think Huddersfield. I think obviously Huddersfield will lose this game, but they'll give them a good game and a good performance. But unfortunately, I feel that they will lose it. But they'll give Sheffield United a good game.
They certainly will. They certainly will. The missus has said Sheffield United win for her as well. Luke says Sheffield United 4, Huddersfield, the whining club. And he's here, he's there, he's every fucking where. Doranto. How you doing, mate? I hope you're well. Where is Forest in this league? I don't know. If you look at the EFL Championship for the season 2024-25, you may end up coming across it. But you know, sorry, 2023-24.
Yeah.
But you
I
never
heard
know.
the slight rumor is they're going to sign 50 players that season, if I'm not mistaken. Or did I hear wrong?
Either way, I think Doe's going to cash in his diamond. His diamond plaque and probably get him another 2 or 3 signings out of that. But we shall see. Nate says Sheffield United win for him as well, and Doe loves it. He loves it. Give him a tickle under the chin, and he'll be anyone's. But no, he's a good man. He's Doe, good man. Great to see him in the chat as well. Luke says there, as being a Forest fan as well, Forest won't see this league again, unlike a certain Burnley. Take a hike, Chancer. We shall see. We shall see. Moving on then. Stoke against Cardiff. The Welsh Dragons taking a trip to the Bet365 stadium. Stoke, however, currently sit in position of 17th. Cardiff in 19th. Only a point difference between them. Cardiff have lost their last 2 on the bounce. Stoke have won 1 and lost 1. Again, the 2 teams battling it out that are very, very close in terms of their position.
You know what? You said Cardiff lost their last 2, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to say they're going to lose their last 3 on this one. I'm going to go for a Stoke win. The only reason being is because with these teams, you've got Cardiff City and you've got Swansea. Well, some of the players there, that's, what would you say, 70%, maybe 80% of the Welsh national team?
Yeah.
World Cup. I think do you know what? I know it's like they went out a week ago, but you think of it, they've played games over there, they've come back. You know, what their mind's gonna be set like, you know, are they gonna be up for this? So I don't think they are, Dan. It may sound like a bit of a pathetic excuse that I'm coming out with and saying, but that's what I personally think that's gonna happen. So I feel that to me, that's the reason why I'm going to go for a Stoke City win.
No, fair shout. Fair shout. So you're going for a Stoke win. Kate's gone for a second draw in this one. However, that said, I am going to join her for my 4th draw of this one. I do think that both sides will cancel each other out. I don't think it's worked out well for Alex Neil at Stoke at the moment. Cardiff, however, like I say, a little bit
I
blasé.
don't think they're not doing it this season for me. They're not
No,
doing it. A team like Cardiff now, at this time, round about, obviously going. I know we've had the World Cup, but this time, round about this time, going into Christmas and New Year, Cardiff City for me, they've always been in the top six, always,
yeah,
and they haven't. They're not in it. What you see? They were 19th.
yeah, 19th, yeah.
So there you go. It sees it all, really. They've got a hell of a lot to do.
They do indeed. They do indeed. Maisie is in. Hope you're well, Maisie.
Big on
He's
easy.
come over and said a massive hi to myself and Anthony. Also said hi to Kate as well. And Kate said it back. Luke's gone for Stoke 1, Cardiff 0. As I say, go check out Devils United, by the way. Great channel, doing
Yeah.
great things, covering not just the men's game, but also the women's game. And yeah, probably one of the top tolerable Man United fans out there. Let's just say that. But no, do go check
You see that?
Maisie's
You see that
channel
about
out.
Man United?
She's gone for Stoke 2, Cardiff 1. Yeah, like I said,
Yes.
a lot of people backing Stoke and
Well,
Alex Neil to get a win.
yeah.
But yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Speaking of Welsh teams, there is a Welsh team playing at home down at the Swansea.com stadium. They host Norwich. This one should be a good one. As I say, you have got Swansea in 8th position with 31 points. You have Norwich in 5th with 32. There is literally a point difference. However, Norwich have a superior goal difference compared. I mean, Swansea have drawn, lost, and then drawn the last 3. Norwich have lost 1, drawn 1, lost. It wouldn't surprise me if this one actually ends up going straight down the middle.
Yeah. Swansea. What can I say they're doing? They're doing a Bristol City. You know, they haven't won in their last. I think it's maybe 6 or 7 games now. You know, they were near the top, weren't they, at one time? You know, scoring goals and that, and I think they were. I think I can recall them being something like when they something like third or fourth in the league. They were close to the
At
top, weren't
one
they?
point, I think
Swansea?
so, yeah.
They were, yeah. So you know they're slowly deteriorating. Like I said about Cardiff City, Dan. Um, their players obviously being in the Wales international team as well. I can I can't see nothing but a Norwich win here. I mean, Norwich they haven't really sold anyone since they got relegated from the Premier League, have they? Let's be
No.
honest. They've kept their players, and I know they're fifth at the minute, but I mean, blimey, he's only what 20 games gone, 21, 22 games gone in the league. So is all to play for really. And Norwich, they'll start winning and start picking up points, and as soon as you know it, they'd be like third. They'd be in the top three. Seems.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a bad shout. Not a bad shout at all. So you've gone for Norwich. Kate's gone for
Yeah,
Norwich. Um, and I'd have to join you. I have to join you. I think you can't look past Norwich going out and doing the biz against the Swans.
yeah,
Luke even says Norwich to win 2-0. Nate says, I'm going to go with Norwich because they have an American. I did ask Nate whether Sargent will be back, but he couldn't tell us. Couldn't tell us. But we shall see. I'm sure they've got quality in abundance. Right then. Next on the list, the Sunday fixture, 1 o'clock, live on Sky at Loftus Road. QPR have, pardon me, QPR have hit. Get your words out, you dickwad. QPR against the big teams, and I'm not classing Burnley as a big team, but teams that are doing well in the league
yeah.
seem to get a result. We spoke to a lad earlier, Connor, who you know of quite well as
Conor
well.
McGregor. Yes, I know
Yeah,
Conor
Connor
very well.
McCurran.
Conor
We did
McGregor,
speak
yeah.
earlier, so people, if you do want to check that one out, that was done at 7 o'clock tonight. So it is there on the YouTube page for you to go check out if you are interested. And it will be available as a podcast platform, so you can bleed your ears listening to it tomorrow, as from tomorrow morning. Also, on the Sunday of the game, we will be doing a live watch along for it. So join us for the live watch along, which we would appreciate your support. But yeah, this one, like I say, Burnley top of the league. Had to get that one in there. Top of the league. QPR in sixth, with 31 points, 10 points difference between the two sides. Both sides missing players in the World Cup. Two players noticeably. Elias Chair for QPR is out, still at the World Cup with Morocco, as is Anas Sarori of Burnley as well, who's been quite pivotal on that left-hand side. So both teams missing very key players. That said, the World Cup came at a very good time for QPR. They had 3 losses on the bounce prior to their Livingston friendly ahead of football coming back. But Burnley have just been in fine form.
They have. And to be honest with you, started the World Cup, obviously with Burnley winning their last game, top of the league just before the World Cup. That's basically what they've done, and they've achieved that. I got to be honest with you, that your manager, Vincent Kompany, what a manager he is. He is absolutely phenomenal at being a manager. He was a phenomenal being a player at Man City. Do you know what I mean? So I feel that the managers he's actually been under has helped him. Obviously through his managerial career. So I feel that he's doing a fantastic job. I feel you're going to get promoted. There's no shall have a doubt Burnley's going to get promoted this season. But it's like what you said, QPR, they have beat top teams, haven't they? Or managed to nick a point against top teams. You were on a stream earlier with Connor, and I went on the fence with this one, didn't I? I went a 2-2 draw. So the trouble is, though, if I change my mind, I should have stuck to my original scoreline of sitting on the fence and saying, "Oh, it would be a draw," sort of thing, But yeah, you know what? I'm not going to change it. I went 2-2. I went on the fence, and I'm going to stay on the fence. But you'll still be top of the championship by a point, because obviously Sheffield United will. I think they will win their next game. So
yeah, no, that's a fair shout. That is a fair shout. As I say, I think the thing is with Company, like I say, compared to QPR, they had the controversy with Michael Beale, which we discussed in the preview. And obviously, Company's had his fair share with, Martinez leaving his post as Belgium manager, Company being Belgium captain, also being captain at club level.
Yeah.
Whether he wanted the job, he's basically said that, there's no better feeling than being able to manage your country. However, at this current time, it's wrong timing.
It is wrong timing. I mean, look what he's doing at Burnley at the minute. He's happy doing that, Trouble is, though, I think he'd be a good international manager later on, but I'm saying when he's like maybe probably late 40s, maybe 50, he's probably give it a whirl then. But in this minute, he's too young, and he's doing a good job at Burnley, and you don't want to basically you don't want to destroy what he's already set out to achieve at Burnley, and he's achieving that in a minute. So
it's like I said, he's sort of put his toe on things, but hasn't put a full stamp on it yet. He's only just got his foot through the door.
Yeah,
he's still yet to actually put his full stamp onto it. So,
well, it's like the saying goes.
Speaking of which, oh, Anthony Herbert. Oh, Anthony Herbert.
Connor, how's it going, mate? Yeah.
Long time no see, Mr. McCrudden.
It is long time no see and long time no hear. But we used to have a laugh on streams, me and Connor. We did the Claude and the Banster show. We used to do on the member streams as well. Blimey, he used to have a ride with a certain individual. I'm not going to say his name, but it went on way over an hour and a half, and we were just there. I was eating popcorn. It's I turned my camera off. I was eating popcorn at the time, and I turned it on, and I think Connor saw me the last bit, and he was just there laughing his head off. It was enjoyment to watch. But
I won't read it out, Anthony, just in case there's little ears. But there's Connor's comment.
I know he did say that, didn't he, in the stream? She's here, Connor. She's behind me on this picture here.
He's there
There's the
shitting in a bush.
flower. There, excuse the light she's put on her, but yeah,
She's there shitting in a bush.
she's there
Keeping it
shitting in the
real.
bush, keeping it real, curling one out.
I must say, obviously, Kate's gone for a Burnley win as well. Obviously, Nate says he's sticking with 6-0. I'll take it. Luke says QPR 2, Burnley 1. Oh, don't be a prude, you Forest bastard. They're always classy ones them that shit in a bush. Them that sit in a bush and piss on a back street, classy girls. Don't let them go. All right,
No. Kate don't do that, does she? That's a joke, Kate. That's a joke.
Kate don't do that. You want to see Kate's face when we walked back into takeaway after she had to relieve herself on a back street. Everyone's just staring at her while munching into a kebab, and she's just there like, what? It were funny though. It were funny. Me. Right then, next one on the list, because I don't think
she's gonna give you a slap after this stream.
Oh, and the rest.
And the rest.
Can I say, if she shames, enter the cave.
Well, well, that's yeah. Why not, Connor? That's a good point. I don't know what that is anymore.
And it depends. It depends if it's infested by bats, like my wallet. Like my wallet.
Yeah.
Next up,
then, for my wallet, moss comes out of mine.
Watford taking on Hull at Vicarage Road. Like Kate says there, girls got to do what a girl's got to do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Hull. Watford in 4th, 33 points. Hull down in 20th with 24. Watford again, been a little bit hit and miss. Looking at their form, in fact, no, I tell a lie. They hit and miss in the last 3 because they had 2 wins on the bounce, lost 1, won 1, drawn 1.
Yeah.
It seems Slaven Bilic has got them playing, but for how long? We know what Watford are like at just cutting managers out, even at good points. Looking at the table though, stats don't lie. This would probably have a Watford win all over it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would do. Yeah, I mean, we all know what he was like years ago when he was managing the Premier League. When he was manager of West Ham and that, and I feel he's a good manager. He gets teams playing well. He's never really been backed by the board, has he? In one way, sort of thing, which is a shame. But I just think Watford backs him, and he can go on and achieve great things, maybe a promotion. I feel that Watford is obviously going to win this game. This could be one of the teams that can get promoted back to the Premier League. To be honest with you, I don't think they're finishing the top 2. It'd be through the playoffs. So if it's a playoff, I think it'd be, depending on the draw, it may more likely be a good playoff final between Watford and Norwich City, with Sheffield United and Burnley getting all matched, promotion. So, but yeah, that's good for a Watford win.
No problem. Full house then. Full house for a Watford win. Kate's gone for a Watford win. Connor's gone 1-0 Watford as well. Luke's gone for 1-0 Watford. Yeah, you can't look past them. They're very dangerous at the moment, as I say, under Bilic, and Hull haven't really been in that form. Connor says, I've missed that sexy accent. Could turn me more than Ronaldo versus Harry Maguire.
Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you, mate. He calls me like he is a legend, mine. Connor, he's a good lad. Good lad. And he in all fairness, he does know his stuff, especially when it involves QPR. He talked good stuff when it was about Arsenal as well. So but obviously not as good as me. He don't know as much as me.
I suppose it's not too bad because obviously with him studying sports and working with the FA and refereeing and stuff, you sort of get more of an insight into how you've got to read the game as well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does go into the he sort of goes into the don't really go into the depth, but he goes a little bit into the depth of it as well, Connor. So he does know what you know he's a young lad. He's only what I think he's what in his early 20s. So he knows what he's on about. He knows his stuff, and it'd be nice to see him on a stream. Maybe get him on a score prediction, Dan. Me, you, and him. He did say, "No, that won't happen, would it?" Can't hear you, Dan. You're on mute.
Yeah, no, we did say that. My mind went blank then.
Oh.
We did say that and tried to whether I think Connor said something along the lines, you don't want to get the two of us on together because it'll just be mayhem.
No, it'd be all right. Do you know what? It'd be nice to see him and be on a stream with him. Because it's score predictions, isn't it? You can't, we only predict for fun, don't we? And we have a bit of a laugh, and that's it.
No, that's the main thing. He says, I think Anthony's flirting with me.
Oh, God.
As always, Luke says, get a room, lads. Rich Sports is in. Hope you're well, Rich.
Big up,
Says,
Rich.
hi to your bad self, Rich. Hope you're well. Nate's gone for Watford 2-0 as well. Right then. Last but certainly not least this weekend, Monday night fixture, 8 o'clock, Stadium of Light, Sunderland taking on West Brom. Sunderland currently sat in 10th position. West Brom up to 21st, unbeaten in their last 3. That said, Sunderland are also unbeaten in their last 2. So not much difference. Sunderland have 30 points. West Brom with 23. The gap could be closed. This one's a very tough one to call.
It is a very tough one to call, but to be honest with you, let's look on this side. Since West Brom has sacked Steve Bruce, what have they achieved? They've won. It's like what I said. They've won quite a few games. They've been playing well. They've been picking points, and I can't remember if they're. I think have they just come out of the? They still in the relegation zone, or have they just come out of it?
Just come out of it. I think they've not long come out of it.
Yeah, they've just come out of it, and that was obviously what they wanted just before the World Cup started, and they've done that. You know what? I'm going to have to go. If I had to pick one, I'll most probably go for a West Brom win on this one, Dan. I mean, Sunderland have played well. They give them a good game. I know there's nothing between it, but I feel that because of West Brom has won that extra game, I think you're going to see West Brom picking up points.
That's fair shout.
They won't obviously go up there. Most probably finish somewhere like top 10 in the league, and that most probably be it.
No, that's fair enough. I'm with you. I think West Brom will do it. 3 on the bounce since Carlos Corberan has gone in there.
Yeah.
Sort of got them playing some really good football, and it seems to be working. So, yeah, not bad. All 3 of us backing the same team for the last 2 fixtures. We will obviously find out next Thursday what happened this week and who takes the points. As it stands, top of the leaderboard is that man down there, Mr. Anthony Herbert. To be honest with you, He's in the top with 44 points. Then my good lady, just off camera, she's got 43 points. And I don't know how she won it. She won it in the Premier League, and now she's in second. She were leading this one until Anthony came along, but I'm obviously rock bottom as per usual, with 37. So I've got some catching up to do. I have definitely got some catching up to do. That I need to really pull my finger out. So predicting 4 draws to start with is not going to fucking help me, is it? What's everybody else saying? What's everyone else saying? Doug says, good evening. Good evening to your fine self, sir. Good evening. I hope you are well. Connor's gone for 2-2 between Sunderland and West Brom. A good old Desmond. Kate's gone for West Brom win. Nate's gone for West Brom 1-0. Kate said Sunderland. Doug said, 3-1 to Sunderland. West Brom just go down to League One, please. Well said. Well said. Luke's gone for 1-1. Renee says, hey, Dan, how are you? And hey, Kate, how are you? We aren't bad. We aren't too bad. Kate's only a point in it, so not too bad. Exactly. Not too bad. Anthony, I'm going to wrap it up because I've got a family member that's trying to get in touch with me regarding something in the family. But again, tell people where they can find you and your stuff.
Yeah, you can find me on social media, which is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at my name, Anthony Herbert. You can also find me on Football United TV, where I host a stream called Gunners from All Corners. That airs every Friday night at 9 o'clock. But we haven't done anything, not yet, because of the World Cup. But as soon as the World Cup's finished, we will be back on, bringing on some Arsenal guests and just talking all things Arsenal. And it's nice to be back on the prediction show with Dan, be honest with you. And anybody, feel free in the comments. Listen, if you think that there he is, Dan, if you think he actually looks like ex-Arsenal striker Johnny Artson, you just put it in the comments. Okay.
Look, it's staying on. It's staying on. Because no, it's not happening. Not happening. But Nate says he's only just found out what a Desmond was last week. Trust me.
I didn't know what one was until I started watching your streams, like yours and Chris's streams. No, I didn't.
Yeah, good old Desmond Tutu.
Yeah.
And Luke says, doesn't matter. You've got a gap against Dan. That's all that matters. To be fair, who hasn't got a gap against me? I'm always rock bottom doing shite. So
you're not worry about it. World Cup, are you?
Well, no, in the World Cup when I'm second out of 3. Yeah. So, I mean, better than not being last, I suppose, which is always great. That's it, Anthony. Thank you very much. People, please do go and check out Anthony's Twitter link. It is in the description. And then, obviously, as Anthony said, his shows when the Premier League is back, covering all things Arsenal, Gunners from All Corners on Football United TV. Check that out. 9 o'clock on a Friday, is it? I think
on a Friday night at 9 o'clock. Yeah, I get subscribing to the band's channel as well. Let's get him up to a 5K. I want to see him outside Ewood Park with a pineapple and having pineapple pizza.
I'll be like, here's the pizza. There's the pineapple. Fuck off. But no, please, guys, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also click that little notification bell so that you are notified when we next go live. We will be back tomorrow evening, not evening, but evening, when we will be covering the live watch-along of the Netherlands against Argentina. And we'll find out who is through in that one to face the winner of, obviously, the earlier kickoff at 3 o'clock. But join us on Sunday when we also will be going through the EFL live watch-along of QPR versus Burnley. So another game that should be very, very good. Remember, you can also catch our match preview from earlier with Connor. He was a great guest, very knowledgeable, and a great guy, always up for a laugh. So please do check that out. If you'd rather listen to it with your headphones in, it will be available on podcast platforms by tomorrow morning, I'll put the tweet out regarding that. But for now, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Really appreciate it. It's always nice to have a break from the World Cup until tomorrow. But that said, stay tuned. We will be back 6:45 tomorrow for the Netherlands against Argentina. But until then, up the Clarets. Come on, Bristol. Since you're in, I'll even give them a shout.
Yes.
And
It makes sense.
it does make sense. It does make sense. And we'll see you soon with another video. Take care and good night.
Cheers.